Christmas has always been a tender time for me, a time when I slow down, breathe a little deeper, and really reflect on the gifts that God has given me. And I'm not talking about the ones under the tree. I'm talking about the ones that He's placed inside of me. As a Christian, this season is always a reminder of the greatest gift we've ever received, and that is Jesus Himself. And out of that gift, I find myself reflecting on the blessings God has poured into my life as well, even the ones I didn't recognize at first. And one of those blessings that's been one of the biggest is the gift of me being able to do hair.
Hi there, I'm Sherry Brody, and after more than 40 years working behind the chair, I've learned that success doesn't come from luck. It comes from a lot of faith, perseverance, and courage to keep showing up when life gets messy. Almost 15 years ago, I lost everything. I had to rebuild everything from the ground up, my life, my career, and my confidence. There were moments I wanted to quit. But by God's grace, I found the strength to cut through it, one step, one prayer, one haircut at a time. That's what this podcast is all about. Cutting through it is where we get real about what it takes to build a successful career and a life behind the chair that actually works. So if you're ready to stop doubting yourself, strengthen your skills, and build a business rooted in faith, purpose, and truth, you're in the right place, my friend. This is Cutting Through It, where we don't just talk about hair. We talk about life, growth, and everything it takes to become the hairstylist and the person God created you to be.
When I first started doing hair, I didn't choose it intentionally. I just want you guys to know that. I went to beauty school because my mom, she wanted me to go. And honestly, guys, I was 16 years old. I was in high school. I was having fun. I had no idea what I was going to do out of high school. And I think, quite frankly, that's why my mom wanted me to go to beauty school. So when she told me about it and I learned, oh my gosh, I only have to go to class for 3 periods and then I get to go play with hair. Heck yeah. But you see, what I didn't know then was that God, He was setting me up for my future. Because at that time, I had no idea that God was planting a seed, a gift, something that He knew I would use later and need later to carry me through some of the toughest seasons in my life that were coming my way. I sit here reflecting that the very first time was when I was very young. I married as well right after graduating high school. I was barely 18 years old. And we eventually had 2 kids. And eventually at one point, I found myself as a single mom. I had to get out of that relationship. And I don't know how I would have made it if I didn't have the skill of being able to cut hair. But, I know that God already knew. He knew I was going to make that decision, and He knew I was headed that way. And so He gave me the skill that I would need. He knew I'd be a single mom, and He knew I would need it. And it was a gift that I would be able to put food on the table and a roof over my kids' heads. And He put that in my hands. And when I think back, I'm just so humbled by that. And words can't describe how thankful I am for that. And throughout my career, I eventually really honed in on my hair cutting, and that became my passion. And eventually I ended up becoming an educator. And then I discovered, oh my gosh, I love teaching, and I had a gift for it. I knew how to communicate and explain things so that what was in my head and my hands, I could get into another person's head and hands so that they could provide a living for themselves. This gift was mentoring stylists, and I loved it. I eventually ended up owning my own salon and being able to work one-on-one with hairstylists and watching them grow and become successful in their career. And now here I am. I have an online education platform, and now I'm here and I'm taking that gift further, and I am doing this podcast. And that gift that started out as something very, very simple and something that I thought was I'm just going to, not have to go to high school, but more than a few periods. I had no idea the blessing of that gift was. And I feel like as hairstylists, we can get so caught up in everything we're not. You know what I'm talking about? We get caught up and focus on mistakes, that client that didn't come back, that haircut that didn't turn out right, that color that I had to, fix and stay late for. We tend to focus on that. And we focus on fear of not being enough, fear of losing the client, fear of failure, fear of looking stupid in front of another hairstylist or another person. And the biggest one, we focus so much on the self-doubt that we have in ourselves that we forget the gift that God's placed in our hands. We are so lucky for many reasons. First, we get to run our own business. And we get to work in an environment with fun music. We get to chat with people. We get to be creative. We get to dress the way we want. We get to choose all those things. We get to pick our hours. If we need a day off, we don't have to go to our boss and put in for time off. There's so much as a hairstylist that is such a gift. And I just want to remind you that every day with every single client that sits in your chair, you're giving them something that no one can buy in a store, that no one else can give them. You're giving them confidence. When you give them a haircut that makes them look in the mirror and feel great about themselves and style easily every day, and they can walk out and feel good about the way they look, or a color that compliments them and they feel awesome about, you're giving them confidence. You're giving them comfort. Just by being there and listening to them and touching them and working on their hair. It's so soothing. I can't tell you how many clients just like, oh, this is so relaxing. I just love coming to get my hair cut. This is, a lot of my clients, I'm their doctor. What I mean by that is, in order for them to get in with me to get their hair done, they put me down as Dr. Sherry because that's the only way they could get off is saying that they're going to a doctor's appointment. And you know what? I used to feel bad about that, but I don't, because I have a little sign at my station that says the therapist is in. And I laugh at that. And you probably seen the sign, but it's, I may not be a real doctor, but I do make them feel good and I do make them relax and I do help them, and you as well helps them get on with their day with a better attitude. You're giving them a moment to just breathe and relax. In life right now, there's so much going on being thrown at us. And for them to sit in your chair and have somebody focusing solely on them, it's such a gift. You're giving them human connection. And for some people, that's more than anything that they want. Sometimes we are the only ones that listen to them. Sometimes we're the only ones that touch them. What a gift. That is such a gift. So this Christmas, while you and everybody else is rushing to buy those gifts and wrap those presents, I just want to encourage you to pause and remember the gifts that truly matter. The ones God has placed inside of you. The one that touches hearts. The one that changes lives. The one that reminds that someone that they matter. Hey, I am so thankful for you, for trusting me with your time, for listening to this podcast, for letting me encourage you and walk with you on your journey. For those of you who have been my students, I want to thank you. Teaching you has been one of the greatest gifts of my life. And my prayer for you this Christmas is simple, that you feel God's presence, you feel His peace, and most importantly, you feel His purpose in your life. Merry Christmas, my friend. May you recognize the gift God has placed in your hands, and may you continue to use it to bless others, just as you have blessed me.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with me today on Cutting Through It. I hope today inspired you. I hope that it gave you some clarity and confidence, but most importantly, I hope it gave you the courage to keep going. Because you, my friend, you're not meant to do this journey alone as a hairstylist. If this episode lit something up in you, would you hit the subscribe button? But most importantly, let me know by leaving me a review. And also, I have another favor to ask. Will you share this with another hairstylist who you know that might need a little boost today? Your words help this message from this podcast reach more hairstylists who need it. And if you want to dive a bit deeper with me and learn about all the free resources I have, head over to my website at onpointhairbysherry.com. Until next time, stay faithful, stay focused, and stay on point. And never, never forget that your clients, they'll remember more about how you made them feel than anything else at all. Have a blessed day.